Hey everybody, welcome to our Thursday live stream, live broadcast. I am Honor Janetsky, your host for this group, Overwhelm Solution for Moms, and founder of Awakened Motherhood and host of Thrive Motherhood Method workshop. And I want you guys to know that I'm coming on at the same time every Thursday. So if you aren't aware of our live broadcast and live stream, you can go ahead and put it on your calendar now. This is a recurring event. You can get here live. You can ask me questions. This is a time where we have open session for you guys to really connect with the content here, find out what is the work I'm doing with my clients, and get a lot of free instruction on things you can do for yourself in your own life to make big shifts. So welcome everybody. I am so pleased to be here with you today with this topic. I'm going to be outlining for you a 3-part plan of how to move from emotional survival mode to embodied calm. Really important words. Listen to those words. Embodied calm. So first, I'm going to start by giving you a little definition and telling you what those different states are. So let's begin with, how do you know if you're in emotional survival mode? Let's start there. How do you know if you're in emotional survival mode? Well, emotional survival mode, which people just call fight or flight or survival mode, is often noted by feeling a kind of a rushed pace in your body all the time. It could also be the opposite, like really low, flat energy, more on the depressed side. It's also something you notice, you're in emotional survival mode, if you feel kind of like you're walking on a tightrope all the time. Another thing is like walking on eggshells, right? I don't want to upset anyone. I feel like I have to rush, I have to hurry. I don't know how to slow down and relax into my body, my life, my experience, my home. If you feel a panic, if you feel a sense of panic is like kind of looming and at any moment it could erupt and you could have an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or you could bite someone's head off. You might feel more on the irritable side. That's the amped up anxious side. You might notice yourself snapping. You might notice that you hold tension in your body, that you have like neck ache, shoulder. I see this a lot with our clients, sort of like neck and shoulders feel really heavy. If you're more on the depressed side, you might also feel like a heaviness here on your chest. You might feel exhaustion or fatigue in your body. You might notice that you kind of don't want to go out and engage with life. There's a lot of hesitancy or resistance. There maybe even is hopelessness. All right, ringing any bells? So you guys let me know if any of this is sounding like stuff that you struggle with. Say yes below. You're either amped up, wound up, kind of more on the panic, anxiety side, resistance, or you're kind of hiding from life. You're withdrawing. You feel exhausted. You have a lot of fatigue. Maybe even you're self-medicating with numbing out, scrolling, eating sugar, those kind of things. So, all right, there are lots of ways that people cope with this state, because they think this is just normal. And I'm doing air quotes if you can see me, normal to feel this way. Well, I have kids, so I've been through hard things, or I have survived a lot of hard stuff. So this is all I know. All right, I'm talking to you guys for a moment. Let's just look at this. So when you have that sort of perspective on life, that it's normal for me to feel overwhelmed, that this is kind of as good as it gets. You know, I've been to therapy or done coaching, or I've worked with a life coach, and I've done energy healing or family therapy or whatever, and I still feel this way. There are reasons that you still feel that way, but it's not what you think. So what I see in the hundreds of clients that we've helped who have previously felt very stuck in a rut of that survival mode, emotionally tapped out, mentally, kind of fogged over, is that they have done good things. They have tried good things. However, the methods, the approaches were not serving them where they were. That's really all it is. It's not very helpful to judge or blame, or it's not helpful. It's better to just go like, did the strategy that I tried get me where I want to go? No? Okay, I need a better strategy, right? So if this is resonating for you, you're in the right place. Stay tuned for this talk. So that's what emotional survival mode can feel like and can look like. And now we're going to talk for just a minute about embodied calm. So what is embodied calm? Like what do I mean when I say embodied calm? And I'll tell you in a minute how you get there. And you can sort of just adjust these steps in the 3-part plan for like where you are in your life, what you can take on, what your goal is, where you want to go. And some of you will be like, I just need a tiny morsel, like I need a baby step, and you're going to get that today. And then others of you are going to be like, I want to know the whole plan and how to get to that end result because I already know what I want and I don't want to stay here any longer. Then this talk is for you as well. So embodied calm. This is the flip side of the coin from emotional survival mode. Emotional survival mode, we kind of feel unresourced. We don't know what to do for ourselves. We don't know how to take time for ourselves. The whole idea of self-care is just annoying because if you knew how to do that already, you would feel better, and you don't have time for that anyway, right? I feel you, my people who feel that way. I used to feel that way when I was had to have kids until late 30s, so considered late to life mom, I guess. Having a second kiddo at 40. And my first child taught me a lot about the importance of loving myself and taking time for me. And without going into the weeds there, I just knew that for me to even survive my kind of early years in motherhood, I needed a totally new strategy, plan, approach. And I, like a lot of you, didn't enter into motherhood with a strategy, a plan, and approach. I just knew like I had a sense that I can do this. I feel ready. I've lived a big life. I know what I'm getting myself into. I've worked with families. I've worked with kids. It's, like, haha. Then you become a mom, right? And you have that kid or that kid. And it challenges you in that way or this way and stretches you in ways that you could never have imagined. And I am no different from all of that. So I really understand those pieces. So the survival mode is a place where a lot of people just wind up by default. If I'm being honest, like a lot of you in this group probably just entered into motherhood without the roadmap or plan, and you had hard things happen, and you realized that there were dark corners inside of you that you didn't know were there, and then your kids shined a light on them. And this is where thinking of motherhood as a spiritual journey or your growth journey can be so helpful as a lens. If you want to feel better every day, if you want to know what it's like to be relaxed and confident and calm within yourself as a mom, then I would invite you right now to start playing with the lens of, this is my spiritual journey. This is my growth journey. If the word spiritual freaks you out, this is a journey of increasing my faith in my higher power. And if you have no faith in a higher power, or you've lost that because you've been so hurt and you feel let down by God or your faith or your community or whatever used to be near and dear to you, then this is an opportunity to plug into something more long-lasting, more powerful, more alive for you since becoming a mom. And some of you may be 20 years into your motherhood journey. It doesn't matter. If any of what I'm saying is resonating with you, then really listen to these steps, because you can access them from wherever you are in whatever way you can. And also, I really encourage those of you who haven't had a call with me yet to get on the books for a free resource call. A free resource call is where we connect and we look at what is it that you're stuck in, like what can't you see, and I will help you to assess that. And it's a really quick kind of triage call to connect you with what's the best next resource for you. So Coach Laney, if you can drop the link there. I mean, I can't see comments, but I think you're on the call. Then you guys just get on my calendar so we can have a resource check for you and see where you're at and what you need. So embodied calm is the flip side of that place that people just kind of fall into in motherhood, and that place where you kind of just get lost, where you feel like you've lost yourself. You're not giving to you're not lit up. You're not in joy. You're just kind of going through the motions, or You have punctuated moments of joy and connection with your family, with your children, but it just feels kind of empty for you. All right. Embodied calm is the outcome. Joy is like the big outcome. And we get that for people in Awakened Motherhood. They reach that point. But before we get to that point, really, what's a realistic outcome for you guys here who have the desire to really change? It's calm. It's steady calm. It's embodied calm. And this is important. Embodied, what it means is like feeling that your energy, instead of being up here and floating or being spread out in your kids, in your partner, in your home, in your to-do list, in your thoughts, tomorrow, yesterday, regret, guilt, tomorrow, anticipating problems that haven't even happened yet, trying to find solutions for things that aren't even happening right now. Instead of being here, connected to this, connected to your grounding, anchored into the moment, and experiencing life right now as it's happening right now. Not the problems of yesterday or tomorrow, not the overwhelm of, oh my gosh, next week is going to be so full. Not the, if only I had family nearby, my husband was different, my this, my that, if only I had a house cleaner every day, if only I had whatever, my life would be better. Not that. That's up here, out here, unrealistic, unattainable, inaccessible, just damage that's happening. I'm talking embodied calm in here in your body, and that's the outcome we're going to talk about, okay? So what that means is knowing how to be in charge of your breathing. What it means is this big weight off your back, off your shoulders. It means you're in command of you, of your body, of your breath, of your focus, where it is. These are all things that I teach my clients, and all things that radically change the everyday feeling and mood and mental state of people who come to work with us. So this is what I'm sharing with you today. Now, what else can I say about embodied? Is this making sense? You guys say yes below. I need to just check and see if there are comments because I can't see them. I can just see that people are on and live, and apologies. I'm just going to take a second here. And then we'll dive into the 3 different parts. So say yes if this is making sense. If you're with me, who's with me? Say yes. You guys participate. Come out of the shadows. Say yes. Participate. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Actually, those I can probably see. Give me some hearts, some thumbs up if you're on and this is making sense. Okay, embodied calm as an outcome or a goal or a thing you want. All right. So, okay, I see some hearts. Thank you. All right, so let's go over what kind of like the 3 phases or the 3 steps are. And I'm just going to sort of look at my notes, made a few notes for you guys. Okay, so again, I have been working with people, first as a psychotherapist, trained in psychoanalytic, psychodynamic psychotherapy, family systems theory, and emotionally focused relationship-based work for the better part of 20 years. And in the last 10 years, I created my own system, my own strategy that is a really beautiful step-by-step process to empower people into being in charge of their emotions, their thoughts, and ultimately shifting the way they feel in their life and in their bodies. So this is like a total healing, a holistic healing of how you feel in your body, in your world, in your relationships. And so to give you a little window into like, what are these key pieces? I just want to start with the first shift. Now, these 3 shifts, the first one is like if you're building a house, this is the foundation. And you all need to do this if you are wanting that kind of outcome of steady, calm, embodied, calm, empowered in your life, and ultimately joy. Then that first step is to train your nervous system and your brain to come out of that sort of panic, spiraling, feeling not in your body, living from here up, the neck up, and living in this space like even beyond your head, even beyond your brain, where you're like foggy or disconnected or distracted and it's hard to focus. This is what we address as the first step. And you have to address this as a first step because if you don't get in charge of your own thinking and your own kind of energy and where it's at, then you won't be able to make the deeper lasting changes. You won't be able to get to that lasting calm, because all that is unconscious, that is making you feel kind of crazy, disjointed, distracted, and spiraling out every day, will remain right where it is, calling all the shots. So one of the metaphors I like to use with my clients, I'm going to share with you today, is it's like before you do this first phase of going from survival mode to proactive calm, which is healing the nervous system, bringing your brain and body into alignment, into connection, and firing together to support you. Before that happens, it's like you are being driven around in a car, your car. It's your car, it's your body. But there's some stranger at the wheel. There is like a stranger from your past that is calling the shots, that is turning the signal on at the wrong time when you're not taking a turn, that is flipping U-turns when you don't mean to go back home, that is honking the horn all the time and flashing the lights. And you're in the back seat like, oh my God, like someone stop, right? Make it stop. That is survival mode when someone else is driving your car. You feel out of control because you don't have control, because you don't have a plan and you don't know what to do to get that system back communicating, back in cooperation with where you want to be going. So it's kind of like you never get to your destination. Know what I mean? Making sense? Say yes if this is making sense. If you have a question at this point, drop it in the comments and I will check back. Okay, so how many of you feel like someone else is driving your car and you can say, like, no, I don't feel like that anymore, or yes, I feel like that sometimes, or all the time? Let's just see where you guys are. Okay. So, and be, be honest with yourself about this, but also like give yourself credit. If you're not there anymore, not really, not anymore. And let me see that in the comments. I'm just going to check in. Okay. See some yeses. Right, my kids often drive the car, right? Sometimes. My kids often drive the car. This is a great point. If you feel like your kids are at the wheel and driving your car, which happens all the time for mothers, oh my goodness, there's so much trepidation, there's so much like hesitation in how to take charge in parenting, or how to handle the kids we have, how to handle their temperaments. What even is their temperament? How to communicate with this kid? What's their currency? What's going to get through to them? How am I going to get their buy-in to participate, to cooperate? How do we even have that respect with them? I feel like I'm just chasing or nagging or punishing or, whatever, or trying to like find that magic holy grail thing to get them to connect with me. I see this a lot with my clients. And the thing is, your kids are responding to where your nervous system is. I know it's not a popular thing to say, but I'm just going to say it to help you understand. If your kids are reactive, if they're pushing away from you, if they are kind of testing you a lot, if they're younger, if they're older and they've kind of shut you out, what's happening is they're responding to this first step of your mom is like in emotional survival mode, and I kind of don't want any part of that. Or if they're younger, it's triggering and it causes anxiety for some kids, or they're kind of like clingy, needy. That can happen too. And sometimes the reason for that is because you're ungrounded and you're not present and you're feeling kind of scattered or panicked because you do have a million things to do and you can't tackle them all, and you've set up your life in that way. Okay. With me? So that step one is you need to be able to get a hold of your nervous system and train it into a place where it is functioning and firing to support you. And that means brain and nervous system talking and online and calm. Okay? In therapy all the time, because this is not addressed in most therapies, that is skipped over, and the therapist will take you right into step two. And if you've been to therapy, you're going to recognize that this is probably what happened for you. If you still feel stuck and you went to a year and you spent like $5,000 in a year of therapy and you didn't get the result that you wanted, then this is probably the reason why. Step one was skipped, and you dove right into building a relationship with the therapist, and step two, which is trying to increase your awareness and insight about what are the patterns. What is the place where you get stuck? What are your triggers? Maybe I don't use that word a lot, but like what's sort of flipping your lid and taking you offline? That limbic brain is going offline, and you're kind of not that functional, and you're in survival mode. And this in the work with my clients, we call this clearing blocks. So step 2 is we are creating new habits to keep you in a place of sustained, grounded calm, so that we can do deeper work. And often therapy, even life coaching, people will just jump right into like, what's the pattern that's keeping you stuck? And this is like the best kind of therapy. The worst kind of therapy is just people giving advice and just stuff and not understanding you and not helping you reflect in a neutral way. And there's a lot of like bad work happening out there. But in terms of like a really good constructive therapy, your therapist will try to take you into seeing the patterns, building and increasing your awareness, and shifting it. But your body doesn't come with you for that change. Why? Because it's not ready. It's not prepared. You don't feel safe. You don't feel solid. You don't feel steady. You don't feel like you're convinced that this is going to work. Okay, makes sense? So we build new habits, and then we capitalize on those habits to from a larger awareness of you, of what's going on in you, of what's conscious, what's unconscious. Then you have to clear those deeper emotional blocks. And it's clearing energetic patterns. It's rewiring energetic patterns. And that means like what thoughts you have that create your life. And it also means the energy you hold in and around your body that keeps you getting the same frustrating results. Makes sense? So the fight you keep having with your kid, the fight you keep having with a partner, the place you keep feeling like you're failing, or you keep having guilt that keeps you from taking amazing care of yourself. Those stuck places will come up again and again and again. And the reason why they come up again and again and again is because there is some programming and wiring in there, in your car, your vehicle that you're driving, that you've been in the back seat of. If you're in the back seat and your car is taking you to all kinds of places you don't want to go, or it's getting in accidents and crashing and it's breaking down, then that's a sign that you haven't done that first step of really getting into the driver's seat, meaning healing your nervous system, and that you haven't done that reprogramming, which I also, along this same analogy, is like rebuilding the engine. That's what that deeper work of clearing emotional and energetic blocks and mental blocks is about. It's the internal experience of building the new engine. So when we build a new engine, what we're doing is we're learning to think smarter instead of working so hard, which you're like working harder, not smarter right now when you kind of are stuck or overwhelmed. So learning to think smarter, learning to move more efficiently, learning to be in charge of your life, your day, own your day from a place of that safety and calm. Okay, following me? That's step 2. And when we clear those emotional blocks, we're building the new engine at the same time. So new habits, new ways of thinking, new ways of quickly, effectively moving through emotions. So you don't get stuck. You don't get waylaid. You don't go into guilt tripping. You don't go into future worry about things that haven't even happened yet. You're just here now. And oh my God, it's so much easier. It is so much easier to be here now. So that is really your second step. And then let's talk about the third step. The third step is where a lot of people try to do the first step. So if you're on a deep growth journey and you're like into your inner work, you've probably jumped into step 2. But most of the world has just skipped 1 and 2 and they've hopped right into step 3, which is I got to change the marriage. I got to change my job. I got to move to a bigger house. I got to get a new car. I got to move near our family or away from our family. It's too stressful. If you have just worked with your outer world, your logistics, your environment, I got to declutter. I got to take a prescription drug. I've got to just work with what I have resources out here. You've skipped 1 and 2, and hopefully now you can see this. And you've gone right into step 3 of changing your external world. your marriage, your relationships, your kid. You signed your kid up for therapy. You want someone to help your kid change. And at the same time, you're carrying a lot of emotional clutter, maybe trauma history, maybe heaviness, worry, stress. You skipped over yourself and you've gone in to try to fix yourself by fixing the outside world. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, this path always falls flat. It crashes. It does not change how you are able to function in the world, to change your marriage, to change your relationship, to change your kiddo, or even to change your relationship with your kiddo. Does not ultimately leave you waking up feeling excited for your day. It doesn't create that kind of result in you to work out here. Now, I gotta know, are you guys already here? Do you already know this? Do you believe that it is true that changing your external world does not change your internal world? And if this is the first time you're hearing this, it's all okay. Just sit with it and get curious about it and just go like, I wonder where this pattern is showing up for me in my life. And maybe this is why I'm still feeling stuck or resentful to my partner or angry that I got this kid or that I'm still stuck in, I shouldn't even have been a mom. And so many of my clients have been there, you guys. So many women who I've helped and who we've helped have been there. So, okay, thanks. I appreciate your comments. I see those. All right. So that probably creates some hopelessness. That creates despair. That creates like a frustration. I don't have time to commit to this. I can't do what Honor's saying to do. And I've tried on my own and I can't do it on my own. Step 3, you guys, is really about integrating the internal shifts, the internal groundedness, the internal sense of, I know how to move through my emotions and not get stuck now. Your positive mindset, your strengths-based approach to life. These things, these internal strengths and resources, which are the key to happiness in life. Step 3 is, lastly, taking those and integrating them into your relationships and into parenting and into your home. And so, like in my work with clients, for example, this comes last. This is like phase 3 of the deep work. But first, we get people feeling solid and okay to joyful, and then we teach the tools. And there's a reason why. There's a wisdom to this. We teach the tools for effective communication, empowered communication without arguing, without conflict. We teach the tools for helping people set solid boundaries that really are respectful, that come from love and come from respect. And we teach people how to rewire and have really healthy, strong relationships with their kids and with their partners by leveraging that sense of all is well in my world into relationships. Why does that matter? Who knows? Why can't we just do it from feeling grumpy? Bonus points for anybody who can say in the comments. Why can't we just go to marriage therapy holding a grudge and expect it to radically change and create joy at home? Why can't we go to counseling or life coaching to just explore how we feel and expect to feel better? Why doesn't it work? What do you guys think? So there is a truth to, you can't create happiness from misery. You can't create lightness from stress and heaviness. You have to, step by step, walk yourself there. You have to walk your way there. You have to learn a system that changes your internal world, how you operate, how you move, how you think about your life, and mostly how you think about yourself in order to get to a new destination. So back to the analogy, you will not get to your destination of lightness, connection, joy, unless you get in the driver's seat. And getting in the driver's seat means you decide how you get to feel. You decide that you get to feel happy, grounded, powerful, at ease, joyful. at the minimum, you get to feel like you're doing a damn good job as a mom, as a partner, as a head of your household, as a decision maker, as a teammate. You get to feel good about how you're doing. And if this is new information to you, just let it soak in. And if you are someone who has done a lot of things, you've invested time, money, energy, you've listened to 1 billion podcasts, and you're just feeling like it's not clicking for you, you're not seeing the result of feeling joyful in your life, then I want you, without any hesitation, to get on my calendar for a resourcing call. Let's figure out where you're at and what you need. And maybe it's a free resource that you need to open your mind a little more. Or maybe it's connecting you with something bigger. Either way, we'll figure it out. Now, that call, that is a non-commitment call, no selling of anything, just a resource call to assess where you're at. Got it? So don't expect more from that call. If you want more and you want to talk to me about like how I can help you, then reach out to me and we'll figure out how to get you on the calendar for a clarity call. But in terms of this piece, you're just wanting to know like where to access this work and what to focus on first, then connect with me. If you're like, I want the help now, and I know this, just drop a comment below, and we'll figure out how to get you on the books for a longer call slot so we can explore a little bit more, a little deeper. Wherever you're coming at this work from, you really can just assess where you're at by how you feel. Just pay attention to how you're feeling right now. Do a check-in. When your day gets hectic later, check in, ask yourself, how am I feeling? How do I believe I'm doing right now? Before bed, reflect. What's coming up for me? Am I feeling exhausted, achy, tired, stressed, guilty, overwhelmed? Am I feeling light and breezy? Am I feeling like I'm pretty much, I've got this? Just see where you fall on that spectrum. And don't let yourself go another moment without noticing this. Don't let yourself move through your day, your life, accepting anything below, I care about how I feel, so I'm going to pay attention to that. Don't let yourself skate by with like, I don't get to feel good. Moms don't get XYZ. I don't get to feel good. Like, just, I'm calling BS on all of that. It's just so wrong and so harmful. It is a version of self-harm that mothers do. And you deserve better. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to notice how you feel and what you need. And so, if you're at the very beginning of this journey or you've skipped ahead to step 3, go back to 1. Go back to 1. You're at step 1. So if you want more information on the step 1 of getting that brain and nervous system talking and aligning, and you know that you skipped that piece, and that's really where you are and you need help with that, then I want you to comment heal below, healing the nervous system. So yes, you're up for that. We will connect with you. We're going to have some resources we're sharing in here very soon along those lines. And then we will put you on that list so that we can make sure to get you those resources. Again, like, my calendar's open. I've got a few slots till tomorrow that you guys can snap up if you haven't had a resource call yet. And I see some people on here I know I have not connected with in a long time, or I haven't connected with you at all. So absolutely take advantage of that free resource. Yeah, let me know, like, what step are you focusing on most? I need that feedback. So are you mostly like, you need to start at step 1? Or are you someone who has done a lot of step 1? You haven't done the deeper piece. You haven't worked with someone who has the expertise to take you deeper into clearing the blocks. So let me know if you're on step 2. And then if you've done both of those things and you're on step 3 of like, I did it. I did that healing work, but I didn't take it far enough to transform the marriage. I didn't take it far enough to feel like I had parenting like dialed in. Then you're on step 3. So tell me 1, 2, or 3 down below, and I'll look for your answers. And remember, I go live every Thursday at this time, and I am here to support you guys. 100% here to support you. This is a community where I want you guys to show up and ask for what you need, and I can always bring you a new topic in a Thursday live stream. So tell me where you're at, what step you're on, and I'll look for those answers later. I'll see you guys next week.